I welcome you all to this representation. So in today's video, we'll be looking at Business Studies 2022 GCE, specifically question 2 from section C, which is the trial balance. So remember to subscribe and follow and also like the video. Okay. So the question is saying the following balances were extracted from the ledger of Taonga on 30th June 2021. So we have sales, drawings, sales returns, purchases, office expenses, purchases returns, insurance, salaries. Then the question is saying prepare a trial balance with the correct title, 10 marks. So on this part here, you are supposed to get 10 marks or 10 marks. Okay, so before I answer the questions, I'm going to say, as for sales, we need to credit it. Okay, so sales should be part of the credit side. Then as for drawings, we are supposed to debit it. Okay, then the next one is sales returns. As for sales returns, since here I was saying sales, we need to credit it. Now on the sales returns, we need to debit. Okay, then followed by the purchases. As for the purchases, we are supposed to debit. Okay, followed by the office expenses. So all expenses you need to debit. Okay, so as for office expense, we are going to debit. Followed by the purchases returns. So here I was saying as for purchase, we need to debit. Now this one is purchases returns. So we are supposed to credit this one. Okay, followed by the insurance. So as for the insurance, we need to debit. Okay, then the last one is salaries. As for the salaries, we are supposed to debit. Okay, now let's try to enter the details in the table. In the table. Okay, so the first one, I'm going to start with the title. So the title is going to be like this: Taonga's trial balance on 30th June 2021. Okay, so I was saying sales we are supposed to credit, so it is 21,000. Then Ngwei is 0 Ngwei. Okay, drawings, I was saying as for drawings we are supposed to debit, which is 4,000, 0 Ngwei. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is sales returns. As for the sales returns, I was saying we are supposed to debit, not credit, but debit, because as for the sales, we need to credit. Now this one is sales returns. So sales and sales returns, these two are different. So as for the sales returns, we are supposed to debit. Okay. Then the next one is purchases. So as for the purchases, we are supposed to debit, which is 10,000. Okay. Then as for the office expenses, I was saying office expenses we are supposed to debit, because these are the expenses. All expenses you are supposed to debit. Okay, followed by the purchases returns. So as for the purchases returns, you are supposed to credit, because purchases we were debiting, but as for the purchases returns, you are supposed to credit, which is 3,000. Okay, followed by the insurance. So as for the insurance, you are supposed to debit, which is 1,400. Okay, then the last one is salaries. As for the salaries, you are supposed to debit, which is 5,000, 0 Ngwei. So now how it is on this part is that the total amount that we are going to get on the debit side should be equal to the total amount that we are going to get on the credit side. So if you add on the debit side, you're going to get 24,000, and on the credit side you're going to get 24,000. Okay, so now as you can see, the table has balanced. Yeah, that is the way it's supposed to be. So remember to write the video